Hi guys, it's Kelly Latavola here and I'm back with another video for Wplus9. Today we are going to be making a cozy little one-layer card. I just really love one-layer cards. So I'm going to tell you what I'm using and then I'm pretty much going to beg your forgiveness. I am using the new Cookies and Cocoa set, the Holly Jolly Christmas, and then the All the Cheer. I just used little presents out of it, and the teacup came from the Hello and Thanks stamp set. So, two things that I need to apologize for. The first one is the lighting. So my little peanut butter wanted to make a card, and I didn't realize he was messing around with the camera settings, and I didn't realize it until I loaded up my footage for the video, and I realized that it is kind of dark. So I apologize. I have fixed it. Going forward, we'll be okay. But then the second thing is I got so excited, making this card, that I started laying everything out. And then from there, started kind of stamping, and then I was like, my camera is not on. So what you see here is me using the masks as placeholders, so that I could stamp my one layer scene, since I did have a lot of elements. When you're doing a one layer scene, you want to stamp front to back. So anything that you want to be in the foreground, anything that you want to be up front, you stamp that first and then mask it, and then stamp the items in the back. So here, there are masks on there that aren't actually masking anything, and I'm using them to make sure that I get my placement correct, because there are just so many elements to this particular card. When I looked at the Holly Jolly Christmas set, it had all these cute little sentiments and like I guess iconic Christmas images, like the little snowman and a candy cane, and I just really loved them, and I thought that it would be super fun to do. I knew I wanted to use the mugs. Come on, me, mugs, match made in heaven right there. So I knew I wanted to use those and the little cookies, but then I thought in the background it would be fun to kind of do like a Christmas picture collage with the other items that are in these different stamp sets. And I know that there are some people who, like, when they decorate for the holidays, they do put different pictures up or different signs up. I'm not one of those people. I totally am super jealous of the people who do make time to do that. I don't want to say have time for that, because we all have time for the things we make times for. But I don't, I just can't make time for that. But I think it's super cute, and I think it's super cute in this card. So anyway, that was kind of the inner workings behind that. I love this, the Cookies and Cocoa set is, I love it. It's so adorable, and it's, you can use the outline, or you can use the solid stamps to layer, so like a builder set. It's so fun. While I am on the topic of talking about the stamps that we have, so when I stamped this mug, I wanted to put the little marshmallows that come in the set inside. So I just wiped off the back edge of the cup. I just used a baby wipe to wipe it off, and then I made sure I wiped it off with my finger to like gather up any of the excess moisture. And then I can go ahead and stamp my marshmallows, and they'll look like they're inside the cup. Anyway, back to the stamp sets. So today is Black Friday, and Wplus9 is no exception. They are also having Black Friday sales, and they run November 23rd through November 26th. And there's doorbuster sales. Then the clearance section is an extra 50% off, and then everything in the store is 25% off, including everything I'm using here. So there isn't anything in the store that you cannot get a deal on. So if there's something that you see here, or something that you've seen in the past that you want to get your hands on, make sure you make your way over to the store to snag those up. There is no codes needed. You'll be able to see the price right there when you're looking at it in the store. So we're on to stamping the actual items in the background. I have all the masks in place. You'll see covering all of my items because I thought that I was going to do a Distress Oxide background. That's not what I ended up doing. I ended up just doing it all Copics. But I'm stamping these in various covers. Why is enunciation so hard? Do you know the answer? I do not. Anyway, stamping the wall hangings in various colors since they are decorations. So I stamped the presents in Gala Red. I stamped the sentiments sign. That's going to be my sentiment, also going to be my sign in the background, in warm wool. Stamped my snowman in silver lining. And then I stamped my snowflake originally in Lake House. You'll see later in the video I actually changed it to Ocean Drive just because with the color scheme that I picked, I felt like the Ocean Drive showed up better. So the reason I still have my masks in place is because I thought I would, like I said, was going to do the distress background. And so I wanted to get my frames around my items so that I could mask those off as well. Here's the thing. So when I was laying everything out, I thought I was giving myself enough room to do the frames. The presents and the snowman were too close together. So I didn't really have an opportunity to put like a wider frame on there. They were pretty much just like the simple black outlines. And I will go through later on and make them a little bit thicker. Right now I'm just using the super thin EK Success journaling pen. Because I don't know how the coloring is going to go. But yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind is your spacing. For the sentiments, I wanted it to be one of those like decorative signs where like the little chains all link it together and it's super cute and hangs on the wall. So all I'm drawing here is just the quote unquote chain links, and it's just circles that overlap each other, guys. It's really simple and it came out totally adorable. I could even see that being something that carried a card, not just something in the background. So keep that in mind for any like label stamps you have. That's a fun idea. Now that I know I'm not doing the Distress Oxide, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of the masks. This is my magical moment personally because I love the reveal. It's so fun to see how everything came out. And I did have one of the little marshmallows on the left-hand side that I didn't stamp out all the way. I just fixed that with a pen. So for the background, I chose a BG11, which is just like a nice light, like spa color. This is actually the color of my old craft room. For doing something like this, you want to make sure that your marker is nice and full. So you shouldn't be getting any streaking or anything like that. I actually had to stop halfway through and refill mine because mine wasn't as full as it needed to be. But that will give you a nice smooth base coat. So we'll continually going in the same direction. So you don't want to go like left to right and then up and down. You want everything to be in the same direction so that you're not getting any weird lines, and that will help smooth it out. Also going over it twice. Like the more color you put down, the better coverage you're going to have. And then I'm going to use some warm grays kind of to play off that sign for my countertop. I'm also going to use them to give the wall hangings a little bit of a shadow to help make them more dimensional. Originally, I went with a W3. After the fact, I'm going to go back in with a 5 and add a little bit more shadow underneath them because the 3 just wasn't cutting it. So, yeah, Black Friday. I didn't really do too much Black Friday shopping. I mean, I did a little bit of craft shopping because. And I bought a Christmas tree. So that was one of the things that I needed in the move. I did not have a Christmas tree. And so at Thanksgiving dinner, I was talking to my sister, who's all about, the steals and deals and everything. And she was like, do you even have a Christmas tree? And I was like, nah, I got to get one. And so she found me one at Target. No joke, 6.5 foot Christmas tree with the pre-lit lights. Now, I'm going to add more lights to it because I like all the things that are shiny, but it's got pre-lit ones. For $30, $30, a whole Christmas tree. I was like, yeah, sign me up for that. And then she was even nice enough to go pick it up for me because I just drive a little car. So yeah, she's bringing it over tomorrow. I'm very excited to put up my Christmas tree. Though, because I have this little tiny cottage style home, I'm not really sure where I'm going to put the Christmas tree. Isn't that always like a thing? Like how you're going to rearrange the furniture to put the Christmas tree? So I'm not really sure yet. I haven't come up with a game plan, but I'm going to have to because I'm not going to not have a Christmas tree. Know what I'm saying? So, yeah, moving on to the coloring of the actual items, I just really did pretty much just a center highlight, like as if the light source was looking right at them. I wasn't trying to get all fancy with like left or right or whatever. This is the easiest highlight to do, and that's the one I decided to embrace. I love teal and red together. I don't really know why. That color combination is just very appealing for me. And then using like the browns and grays as neutrals, I just love the way that they look together. So in order to do a center highlight on this mug, I'm going to be adding shading from the left and the right hand side. I'll leave the lightest portion directly in the middle. So while I was perusing the Black Friday sales, I don't go out on Black Friday. Pretty much I don't leave my house. I don't have to. Before I worked at the police station, I did work retail, and it is pretty much a nightmare. Black Friday, pretty much a nightmare for anybody who has to work in retail. So if you are going Black Friday shopping, please be kind. Be kind to the poor people who are stuck working. One of my sisters has a second job, which is retail, and she had to go in tonight at 1 a.m. She's working 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm not envious of her. Yeah, that just seems horrible. And, they've been there like up all night, all day, extra hours throughout the whole holiday season. So please just be kind to your retail workers. They're doing the best they can. They're doing the best they can. But so while I was looking at the Black Friday sales and all that stuff, I was also scrolling Facebook. Now, maybe this is just me. I get sucked into the weirdest things on social media. So earlier I was watching, there was this funny video. Oh, it was so funny. I'll link it on my blog. There was this video of this dog and they put snowshoes on him and he was trying to walk in the snowshoes. It was like the cutest, adorable. I mean, I was just laughing so hard. That was super cute. But then I got sucked into this video about like how they are like catfishing the world and how they're faking food. So some of them I already knew, like they use like little toothpicks to like plump up the setup on a like hamburger or a cheeseburger to make it look fuller. I already knew that. I saw that on the show. They used to have a show that was like, how did they do that or something? And anyway, they covered commercials one time and I just thought it was fascinating the way that they're just lying to everybody. So they use like shaving cream for whipped cream on pies because it doesn't melt. If you ever see like pictures of, or like the commercials for ice cream, it's not real ice cream. It's like a mixture of, shaving cream and food coloring and something else that makes it a little bit more firm so that it doesn't melt under the studio lights. It's not even real ice cream. The one that I found the most interesting was they had a cereal bowl of Jell-O and they took a container of Elmer's glue and dumped it on top of the Jell-O, and then they put like bits of fruit and cereal inside of it to take their photos, because if you put them in, we all know what happens if you put them in actual milk, they sink. They're covered in milk, and so this way it keeps everything at the top. For one of the soup ones, like to keep the garnish at the top, they put like an upside down ramekin in it and then set the garnishes on top of that so they don't sink into the soup. I just thought it was very, very interesting, the length at which marketing goes to trick us into thinking that these foods will really look like this or that are more appealing or what have you. Just was fascinated by it. From there, I went to, somebody had posted a it was like an album. Do you ever see those? Like where it's multiple pictures and they're all like different things. This one happened to be on like health things. So side note, for the cookies that are on their sides, they're going to be, I shouldn't say on their sides. They look like they're stacked on top. You're viewing them from the side. It's going to be darker at the toward the back. So that's where you want to add your shading. The lighter edge will be more forward to the front of the card. But anyway, so there was like listing like, for sinuses, drink or eat horseradish or drink tea that has, I think it was like cinnamon in it or something. And all these different things. And one of the things in there was like the benefits of drinking lemon water. Which, side note, the picture was actually of limes. So I was a little confused. But nonetheless. And they're going through and it's like lowers your blood pressure and helps keeps you hydrated and is energizing in the morning and is a natural diuretic. And I was like, how is that a benefit? I am baffled by that. How is something being a natural diuretic a benefit? I have had a child. I'm like one sneezing fit away from a natural disaster. So I do not understand how that would be a benefit to somebody. Maybe you know better than me. Please explain it to me because I don't understand why that would be something you would want. Though I have heard lemon water is very good for you to drink. I personally, every time I go to like a restaurant or whatever, and they're like lemon with your water or tea, I'm a hard pass. I'm not a big fan of lemon. That's just me. To each their own. So these little cookies are, they looked like kind of like macaroons to me. But I suppose they could just be regular sandwich cookies. I don't know. They're adorable either way with those little hearts on top. And so I decided that I was going to do like a vanilla with chocolate, a chocolate with like a little strawberry, and then like a strawberry with a vanilla. I thought that would be fun. It would be complementary to the scene, and it would keep things kind of interesting. In order to do that, I didn't want them to be like hot pink. I also didn't want them to be red. So I chose to use 3 colors for that one. And my darkest color is actually an E05. No, lies. E04. So just make sure like when you're going through and trying out different color combinations, don't just stay in the family that you're using. You don't need to. You can use other colors from different families for shading, and it will give you a completely different look that you might really, really love. So I kept the like the icing decoration on these little star cookies to pretty much the same kind of color scheme. I used reds and teals. And I think it's super cute. I know I keep saying that. I can't help it. All the cute things. And then those I just left. I didn't add any shading to them. I just filled them in. And I did the same thing to the one that was we're viewing from the side. That is a little bit more difficult because the design is a little bit more compact. But just make sure you take your time and you should be fine. Basically I did what I could with the camera on. And then I pulled it really close to me so that I could double check that all the lines were filled in. Sometimes filming can be difficult to make sure that you're getting as close to the lines as you need to be because you're trying to keep your big noggin out of the way of the camera. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, but like my little one, whenever he wants to get crafty, he doesn't say like, Mommy, I want to color with my crayons, or can I get, the markers? He says, can I make a card? Isn't that so cute? Can I make a card? Of course you can, buddy. And then we mail them to like my mom, or he gives them to his dad. We have 2, his school pictures came in, and he actually was like smiling a real smile. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. Because at this age, like sometimes their smiles are just crazy. But so he looked super cute. And so my grandmother, which is his great grandmother, is currently in Texas. And so we're going to make her a Christmas card to mail her his school photo. So that's on the agenda for tomorrow, where I will not be leaving my house to get any of the Black Friday sales. I might hit up Cyber Monday, honestly, but I just really don't like the whole the commercial of it. I kind of love the people who wait until Friday and not do the sales on Thanksgiving so much. Yeah, but that's just me. So the majority of the coloring is done at this point. Everything, again, with that center highlight. I'm using cool grays now instead of warm to color in my marshmallows. And for a couple of them, mostly the ones that are sitting on the countertop and then just one or two of them up in the cup, I'm doing like a little half moon on the top to give them some dimension, to make them look like they have a rounded edge. And then here's another one of those things like where we get scared about darker colors and the shading. If you don't add any darker gray, especially to the cup marshmallows, they're going to look very flat. So I went all the way out to a C5 for mine. I'm sorry, I went out to a C, I think it was a C7. No, is it? No, it's a 5. I'm lying to you. I'm apologizing. I went out to a C5 because some of them just need that little bit of darker color. You don't have to add a ton. You still want there to be white. The object is white. You're just adding the shadows. But there should be some in there to give it that contrast, to make it look white to begin with, and not just, like they're just flat. So yeah, I really loved making this card. It was a little bit time consuming, but I hope that there's things that you'll be able to take away from it for your other cards. For this particular frame up here with my snowflake, I didn't draw it even. That was my own bad, but I'm going to fix it. So I tried to fill it in with a C7, thought that would be dark enough. It is not. I'm going to go back. And then I'm using the C1 just to add some shading to the left-hand side of each one of those pictures to give them a little bit more dimension. So here I'm going to go back in with the 100, which is the black marker, and I'm just going to fill in that frame. The reason that I'm using just straight black is because it's going to give me the opportunity to make this bottom portion of the frame a little bit wider so that it's even. Since I didn't stamp it that great. And here's where I realized that you really couldn't see my snowflake, and so I switched over to the Ocean Drive, which is just a little bit of a more medium teal versus a lighter, and I did like that better. I also went back in with a W7 for the darkest parts of the countertop. It just felt like it wasn't dark enough where all of those items were gathered. And so I'm just going to blend that out the same way that I did it the first time around. I did go back in and kind of bolster up some of those shadows with the W5. Going to use my white gel pen to add some details, because I'm a fan of that. So I'm going to give myself a little striped red mug, and then I'm going to give myself a polka dotted mug. I also used the white gel pen to just add some highlights onto my marshmallows where I wanted it to be the brightest, so like right along the back edge there. Yeah, I really love one layer cards. Like, this thing started out white, guys. It started out white. I love it. For just to, I guess, make it more realistic, I do like to go back in with one of my medium markers and go over that, the white, basically the white details that I've put down there. I feel like it makes it more realistic. Now, some people have said you can ruin your Copic nibs this way. I've been doing it for a really long time and never had a hard time with it. But it's your investment, so it's your choice. I'm using some clear Wink Estella on pretty much everything that I can put it on, both of the mugs, the marshmallows, and the cookies, and then that's the whole card. So I hope you guys will hop over to the store and check out the deal, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.